First up on my list of things to do if you are bored out of your mind, dust off that piano, pull out that old saxophone, find that old guitar. Guys, start to play an instrument again. Now, as a kid, I was forced to take piano lessons, and I hated it. But I did latch onto a couple songs, one of which I still remember to this day. You want to hear it?
Aye, aye, Captain!
Now, gents, I want to highlight an important point here, and that is I'm saying you need to learn an instrument or be improving upon an instrument, not just playing an instrument that you're already good at. Because if you're doing that, you're just staying busy, and busy is not going to make you feel less bored. Actually, what you want to do is stimulate the mind. It's getting the neurons to fire and having to learn something new, doing something different, which really is going to get you out of the boredom. Oh, and as a secret bonus, randomly between one of the points later in the video, I'm going to have my wife jump in and play our favorite James Bond song on the piano. She's an amazing pianist, so I wanted to be able to share that with you guys. So stick around. The next tip to break out of the boardroom, recreate one of your favorite meals from one of your favorite restaurants. For me, this is the Paris, Texas platter. It's got migas and French toast. You could find this at Kirby Lane. I loved this meal when I was a student at the University of Texas in Austin. Now, the French toast portion, that was relatively easy to recreate, but the migas, much more difficult. I had to actually look up online, find the recipe, experiment a few times. It's all about putting the onions. What else? I got to take the corn tortillas, cut them in a certain way, make sure to fry them before, then add the eggs in, then put it in a flour tortilla with a number of other little ingredients here or there. But I managed to get it, and now I can make, I think, a really good Paris, Texas platter. Next up, get outside. Go for a bike ride, go for a walk, take the dog for a walk. This is actually really great because when you have a dog, I don't know about you guys, but my dog goes off all over the place and likes to show me new things and spend a lot of time sniffing here, sniffing there. And it just makes it, it's every trip is unique. The next tip to beat back boredom, gents, read a book, especially on a subject pertaining to something that you know nothing about. And that's, again, where it's at, is all of a sudden you're expanding your mind. You're opening up your mind to new ideas and thoughts you've never had before. Now, I know what a lot of you guys are thinking, Antonio, that sounds great, but I don't read books. I don't have time for that. Or maybe we can just be a little bit more honest. You don't have the attention span for a book like this. Gents, I get it. And I think we both can agree. Wouldn't it be awesome if there was an app that could take the best information from thousands of books out there and distill it down to the bare essence of what we need to learn? Basically, everything you need to know about that book in 15 minutes. Well, gents, that app exists and it's called Blinkist. Now, gents, Blinkist is a sponsor of today's video. I've talked about them before because I love what these guys are doing. And that is taking the best information in thousands of nonfiction books and distilling it down to the bare essence of the things, the most important things you need to learn. Now, this book I just finished today, Make Your Bed by William H. McRaven. This guy, former Navy SEAL, and I love it. I actually saw a video about him years ago. So as I'm going through, I loved how I was able just to read right here, go through it, and get the gist of what the key points of the book are. And I learned a few things, took some notes on this thing, and that's what I love, guys, is within minutes, you're able to get the main points. You're able to learn something new every time you jump on this app. Gents, over 8 million people are using Blinkist. It's an amazing app with a huge library. You want health books, you want self-improvement books, you want history books, you want business books, they got you covered. Gents, I'm linking to Blinkist down in the description of today's video with the best deal you're going to find out there on the web. Seriously, the first 100 people to use that link get a 7-day free trial. Again, absolutely free. And if you decide to grab a full membership, 25% off. Gents, I absolutely love this app. And actually, most of the people that work for me use this app and love it and pay for it themselves. It is that good. Go check it out, guys. I'm linking to them down in the description. The next tip to break out of the boardroom, change up your exercise routine. If you're doing the same thing again and again, that's what gets boring because it just, you get used to it. So if you're going out and running 5 and 10 miles, how about you change that up and you try fartleks? Fartleks are where you sprint for maybe 200 to 400 meters, then you walk for 200 to 400 meters. You again sprint or go 80%, whatever, works for you. But this right here is going to give you a very different workout than a straight 5-mile run. Or maybe you want to have a little bit of a fitness challenge. Find what works for you, have fun, and change up your exercise routine. And let's have a little bit of fun here. How about you change up your hairstyle? Yeah, you've done the same thing again and again, and I'm not saying go get a crazy haircut. I'm saying simply use a different product, a styling cream or a gel, or maybe a pomade to give it a bit of shine, or change up the hairbrush. Yes, a hairbrush like this with a lot of bristles is going to give you much more of a pushed down slick look versus right here, this is going to give you a lot more texture. Have a little bit of fun. Take a few pictures, post them on the internet and ask people, hey, what is a better look for me? Learn to make a better cup of coffee. So many guys out there use a drip machine, but the problem with the drip machine is whenever the water hits the grounds, it's actually not that hot. So if you were to boil the water and then pour it over the grounds, you actually get a very different taste, especially if you have it go through pretty quick. You use a French press, relatively inexpensive. All of a sudden, you get a very different tasting cup of coffee from basically the same ingredients. Now, I know for me, I like to get a little bit fancy. I whip up my own cream. I throw in a little bit of coconut sugar. It just tastes good. Got a little bit of a caramel taste. Guys, find what works for you. Have fun with your coffee. Next up, write a letter. Yes, the old-fashioned time. People love receiving them. I know I do. In fact, I'll put my P.O. box address down in the description of today's video. So if you want to write me a letter, I'll write you one back. Now, this next one seems boring until you do it, and that is read the instruction manuals that come with all your devices. So you start to realize, wow, this thing's got a lot of capabilities. I never would have known this if I hadn't read the book. I'll tell you one manual that almost nobody reads, and that's the manual that came with your car. Seriously, you've had that thing for 3 years, but you read the manual, all of a sudden you realize, wow, that's what that's for, or I didn't even know I had this feature, or that's where the spare tire is located. Now, speaking of spare tires, how about you teach yourself to change a spare tire, how to change your own oil. If you know how to do this, great. But does your wife know how? Do your kids know how to do this? Guys, your son, he's about to be 16 years old. He's going to have his own license. You don't want him stranded out there in the middle of the night when he could simply figure out how to air up the tire. Yes, there are kids out there that are driving. There are adults out there driving that don't know how to air up their own tires. And let's have fun, gents. Bring out the board game. So many great options out there. Battleship, Apples to Apples, Game of Thrones, Cards Against Humanity, Exploding Kittens. I could go on here. Next up, build a fort with your 5-year-old. Seriously, I asked my 5-year-old, what do you want to do? And she's like, let's build a fort. So we did, and we had a great time. I love the imagination of kids. And here's the thing, is so many adults have lost the ability to have an imagination, to look beyond what's right in front of them and actually to dream and to see what's out there and to imagine what can be. Have fun. Do something that, again, gets the imagination, the creation part of your brain going. Now, this next tip works out really well if you've got friends that have kids or if you've got nephews or nieces, because those parents right there, they're going bonkers. They want a little bit of time away. So what if you could offer a 30-minute online live class with your niece in which, yeah, you're an engineer, you love what you're doing, and you want to share with her your passion. So you're going to actually have a contest. You get her a bunch of popsicle sticks. You've got the popsicle sticks, and you're going to see who can build a tower or a bridge. See who can build it the highest. And you've got a time limit and you're going to do it a couple times. Guys, this is fun. It's creative. And guess what? She's learning. You're having fun and you're building a deep connection. And this right here is valuable. All right, so maybe that sounds like a little bit too much work. Well, how about story time? Come on, you're a budding writer. You're already working on your novel. But how about you see if you can really entertain a harsh critic, your nephew? Yes, your sister says he never likes stories, but you want to put on a performance. You are going to give him a FaceTime story time that he has never, he's going to be glued to there, being able to see you tell a story unlike any other. And right there, boom, that's where you sharpen your sword and you really see if you can put out something that's entertaining. Now, what if you're bored out of your mind, but you still got to get things done? Yes, boring things like getting the dishes done, sending out a bunch of emails for work. Well, how about you write out everything you need to get done, sweeping the floor, and you put a time limit next to it. 5 minutes for the floor, 15 minutes for dishes, 5 minutes for this email, add it all up. Okay, a total of 40 minutes. And then cut that time in half and set the timer and go. And see if you can break your own record. If you can get everything done. And what you've done is you've put a bet out there. You've created stakes. You gamified it. And all of a sudden, something that was boring, you're now zipping through and seeing if you can meet the time limit. Now, this next one is a personal hack that I think is so simple. I'm always surprised that more people aren't doing it. And that is simply going through your contacts and sending a bunch of people texts or phone calls and just letting them know, hey, I'm thinking about you. What are you up to? How are you? Very simple, but you'll be surprised how many people lose contact with all these amazing people in their lives. So take the time just to simply let people know who you love, that you love them, people that you care about, that you care about them, people that have inspired you, that they inspire you. Because what you're doing is you're going to feel better because you're given this love, you're given this positive feeling. They're going to feel better, and it's a win-win situation. Next up, let's talk about picking up new skills. So this is a style channel, and I think a skill every man needs to know is how to take care of his shoes, especially if you're dressed shoes, they've seen better times. So you want to learn how to polish your shoes, how to bring them back from the dead? Check out this video right here. We actually take an old beat up pair of shoes and we show you how to bring them back to life. So you want to learn how? Check out this video right here.